Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic:
what seems to be universally hated on Reddit, but is actually popular in the real world. Staying together with your spouse after a minor inconvenience. The problem with Reddit is that the issue is presented in isolation. You can have a spouse who is an absolute mess in one area of life and a perfect dream in every other way. But when you only present the mess area, they seem like an absolute disaster. The other problem is that some of the patterns and phrases that describe abusive relationships also describe healthy relationships. It's all a matter of degree. So, yeah, he hits me occasionally, but the rest of the time he's really nice, is a relationship you should run from. But he's a jerk when his depression gets bad but goes back to being a lovely person as soon as he sorts his meds, work-life balance out, is just normal. Not to mention most people aren't amazing at presenting an unbiased retelling of events, especially if they are the type to go to Reddit for validation. Small talk. It's a good way to start getting to know someone because you can't get into deep stuff right away, as that's most likely gonna make the other person uncomfortable. Also, most people just like being social, even if it's a surface level interaction. In my work, I interact with about 30 to 50 people per day for about 5 to 10 minutes. And not a day goes by that I don't learn something interesting from at least a couple of them. I have always enjoyed anecdotes, vignettes, slice of life tales, which is part of why I love Reddit. But the small talk leads to these being shared with me constantly by customers. Yesterday a woman told me that she was one of 6 children. And over 50 years ago she took her mom to the store to show her a specific sweater, down to the color, that she wanted for Christmas. Imagine her surprise on Christmas morning when she learned that her mother had indeed gone back to purchase it for her older sister. Her mom didn't do it maliciously but had simply gotten mixed up. Laughing, the woman told me that it looked beautiful on her sister. Now, that is not information or a fact, but it was still a fun story from long ago, and certainly that type of pleasant conversation helps people connect and decreases a sense of loneliness or isolation. Chatter away at me. I'm listening. Nuance. It's hard for Redditors to grasp that just because you agree or disagree in general doesn't mean you have to agree with every small point. I think the economy is fucked and employers don't pay enough, but I also think people need to have grit and work hard to better their circumstances. Sue, basically what you're saying is that you agree with these greedy billionaires and people deserve to live in poverty even though they're providing value to society. You do know that hard work alone doesn't make you rich. I graduated with a master's in philosophy and I'm working as a barista to make ends meet, and it's hard for young people today to be stable because of people who think like you that nobody should have livable wages. I think it's inconsiderate, bordering on rude, when someone's actual argument is different from the one I've already won in my head. Emojis. Text is so devoid of tone, and it's especially apparent when there's a language barrier or something along those lines. And emotes, emojis, etc. are great at conveying something of an emotion. There are people, Facebook boomers and such, who overuse them or misuse them. Sure, but the way Reddit has some complex towards emojis is honestly quite frustrating. Reddit's attitude to emojis is like a recovering alcoholic to whiskey. You can't touch one drop or it will take over your life. Merry Christmas everyone. Christmas tree, glowing star, party popper, Santa, one snowman, deer, light bulb, baby angel, red heart, glowing star, party popper, Christmas tree, family, snowman, party popper, glowing star, Santa, snowman, deer, light bulb, gem, bell, cowboy hat, face, heart and arrow, light bulb, deer, sled, gem, people hugging, heartbreak, fork and knife with plate, cookie, balloon, gift, cookie, heartbreak, Milky Way, people hugging, baby angel, balloon, party popper, candle, Santa, one, baby angel, fork and knife with plate, bell, deer, cowboy hat, face, bell, sled, light bulb, Santa, baby angel, fork and knife with plate, heartbreak, people hugging, glowing star, gift, snowman, candle, Santa, snowman. I feel like these emojis tell a story. And honestly, I'm concerned with the number of light bulbs you have going here. Staying in your relationship. This comment is such a red flag. Location flag, location flag, location flag. Op, get out now. Know that you are loved and do not deserve this. Sending good vibes. Please post an update. Update. All of our silly little problems were solved when we actually sat down and communicated like adults, instead of expecting each other to read our minds. Thanks everyone for the positive DMs, smiling face with hearts. S. Video games. Most game subreddits, the community shits on the game. Although, the majority of the gamers for those games aren't on Reddit and actually enjoy the game. People who hate a game either play it for 5 minutes or 500 hours. I laugh when I see this on Steam reviews. Game is dogshit, devs are trash, do not buy. 3,482 hours played at time of review. Having a girlfriend. Getting laid. Children, parenthood, relationships. Reddit not only dislikes kids but questions why anyone would have them and is offended that they exist and create any minor inconveniences to their lives. Because nobody here was ever a kid and was completely rational as a child and their parents were perfect. Most complaints on Reddit can be boiled down to This thing is not directly helping me and is in fact a source of discomfort and annoyance to me. Why does it exist and why isn't someone else tearing it down? Quote, family in general. Collective, conductive, constructive criticism. I love some good alliteration. Always awesome anytime anyone appreciates or applauds astute alliteration. Going outside and doing things. Outside, like where bears and shit are. No thanks. Chain restaurants. I love Chili's and I don't care who knows. I love the Olive Garden. Yes, I don't care if it's mediocre to refined palates. Give me that fettuccine Alfredo and breadsticks. I've always been anti-chain restaurants, but by Mill gave us an Olive Garden gift certificate and damn. The food was decent and came out fast. The portions were big, and the staff was super nice. All without being crazy expensive. It really changed my mind. I still mostly go to non-chains, but now I'm less snobby about going to chains when other people suggest it or that's what's near us when we want to go out. Olive Garden is probably the chain Reddit is most hateful towards, but honestly it serves a purpose. The food is fine. Yes, it's not necessarily good authentic Italian, but it's fine. You can bring your picky 7-year-old kids and your 85-year-old grandma and both will have options. They like, and as you said, it's affordable. At least it was. Not sure how their prices have changed over past few years. Unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks should make anybody happy. Vanilla sex and moderate political views. Vanilla sex for life. This. Sure, I can be a freak, but nothing beats a good old-fashioned missionary with passionate kissing. Nice dependable orgasms with a person you love. No spitting or chocking needed to get off. Just a mutual god time. Redditors should try it out sometime. Anyone that disagrees with me must be a Nazi. And if there's one Nazi accepted at the table, the whole table might as well be Nazis. Typical Redditor. Young people are turning to the alt-right and we have no idea why. Typical Redditor. Most of the time, it doesn't even matter in what way you disagree. You're still somehow a Nazi for it. I've been called a Republican on multiple occasions for saying the Democrats aren't left-leaning enough. Other people having fun playing video games. On Reddit, people like to post about how those people are having fun incorrectly. Either by playing the wrong game, the wrong video game platform, or playing the right game on the right platform but in the wrong way. The part of this phenomenon that amazes me most are when actual fans go and create a no sodium sub to actually discuss their enjoyment of the game, and the game's main sub spends all their time talking about how the no sodium guys are all corporate shills and deluded fanboys. Just let people play games they like. The thing is, we need sodium to survive. However, too much sodium can kill you too. The best thing to do is have that sodium in moderation. Of course, this is just my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt. Hogwarts Legacy was a bust according to Reddit. IRL though, amazing, and all my friends played and loved it. Sold like gangbusters, too. Pretty much any time Reddit says something like this, you can just assume the opposite is true. Netflix cutting down on account sharing is going to kill it, to Post's record subscribers a few weeks later. I think a lot of those statements were made by people who hate JKR and wanted the game to fail to punish her. Helping others. No, you're not obligated to turn down your music at 8 p.m. so your next door neighbor can get their newborn to sleep. But come on, dude. Yeah, that's mad. Some AITA posts are full of selfish people reinforcing each other's nastiness. ITA for punching my wife's brother in the face and knocking him out cold because he asked me why I didn't want to have kids. NTA, he deserved it for asking you about wanting to spawn a bunch of stupid crotch goblins. 1500 upvotes. Popular stuff. Assassin's Creed, Apple, McDonald's, you name it. Reddit hates it, and believes everyone does too, but these things are popular for a reason. Apple was the one I was coming here to say. If you read Reddit, you'd think that they'd be on the verge of bankruptcy or heading there are. Opposed to being incredibly popular. In the US, the majority of active smartphones are iPhones. 58% of all smartphones sold in the US this year were iPhones. And among the younger demographic in the US, iPhone has an 88% market share and it's trending upward year over year. It's outrageous how popular their products are. And yet Reddit would make you think they're universally despised. The PC gamer demographic is massively overrepresented on Reddit. To the point where I would even say that it's core to Reddit's overall demographic. These people have an irrational hatred toward Apple that, in practice, is more cult-like than the relatively rare Apple fanboys. It would take ages to explain why they're wrong, but I would love to give them a tour of the tech companies that make all the software they use and see their faces when they see all the developers using MacBook Pros. I'm in the tech industry and I once interviewed at a very famous game company that makes PC games. Everyone that interviewed me had a MacBook, though I'm sure Windows was heavily used wherever needed. Buying cars on any kind of finance, even if you can easily afford it. Also, trying to buy a car within your means on a budget, even if it isn't perfect. Sometimes you just need a beta until you can get to a better place. But people will be like, OMG, for that cheap with those miles, it's probably going to explode. No Carfax, no sale, maybe it will. But the money I'll earn by this POS getting me to work will help me afford a better one. Living a normal life. Getting married, having kids, a 9-to-5 job, living in the suburbs, being happy. Reddit doesn't even believe it's possible, let alone popular. I'll have you know, I'm a trauma survivor with autism, Asperger's, and ADHD. And Elon Musk has raised HOAS so high that literally no one but a billionaire can afford to dwell inside a roofed structure. Who can afford it? Question mark. Exclamation mark. Boomers and Jeff Bezos ruined it for us. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Quote, I just recently got married, have a very good 9-to-5, and I'm pretty happy. Guess I'm glad I didn't listen to every douche that hates their wives and actively bash marriage.